All right, everyone, we have head coach Mike Leach. Again, if you'll keep your mics muted and put your name in the chat, we'll begin opening it up for questions.
Coach, close game tonight, and for the second straight week, your team on the road undermanned really fought to the end. I'm curious, just immediately after, where do you think the difference in this game was tonight? What wound up being the difference?
Well, both teams, I thought it was a pretty explosive game. I thought both teams played fairly explosive. I would say, and then when that happens, nearly anything can happen, and that's how this thing kind of unfolded. I thought the first half we missed some opportunities. Some of them were self-inflicted. Some of them, the ball just didn't really bounce very well. We'd be a little bit short on third downs, and one of them I probably should have gone for on fourth down. And then, but I thought we played really hard. I thought we played extremely hard. I thought we finished the game. We just didn't win the game. And, I thought we contained their offense better than most teams have. And then, we dealt ourselves out of some drives, which is unfortunate because they really didn't stop us for the most part. We stopped ourselves, but we played really hard. And it didn't go our way. So we're still getting older and still improving.
On that note, Matt and I were kind of breaking down the fourth quarter up here. And in the fourth quarter at Georgia last week, the team was outgained by that Georgia team. Tonight in the fourth quarter, your team outgained Ole Miss. And are you seeing, even though you're playing a lot of young guys, are you seeing the maturity and being able to move the ball in pressure situations when the game's on the line? Is it getting better week to week?
I think it definitely is. And then we're playing with only 45 scholarship guys, so that makes it challenging too. But and so then there's a point, but I thought our guys kept playing hard the whole time, the whole duration, because, there wasn't a lot of reinforcements out there. So anyway, I'm proud of how they played. You got young guys playing extremely hard, and they're improving, not as fast as they'd like, everybody else would like, but we're improving, and it was one of the grittier games I've been involved in. My team's playing, I thought, and then,
Thank you.
All right, we'll open it up with Ben.
Mike, you guys got over 400 yards passing from Will tonight. It seemed like the offensive line held up kind of like you hoped. What did you kind of see from him, and how did he kind of compete tonight?
I thought the offensive line pass protected better. I think we're getting better and better at pass protecting. I thought Will did a good job keeping extending plays with his feet. I thought our receivers, definitely on some of them, in scramble situations, reacted and got in positions, to make plays. I think that Will's pocket awareness is definitely improving, so that helps out the O-line, and the O-line's improving, so that helps him out. And so, we can still improve. There's still all kinds of places to improve, but, we're heading the right direction.
Steve?
Coach, it seemed like you got some pretty good wide receiver play. I know you haven't reviewed the film yet, but how do you feel like guys like Malik Keith and Jaden Wally played for you tonight?
I thought Jaden played really well. I thought Jaden played really well. I thought Malik did some good explosive things, kind of ran out of gas late. I think Jaden's really playing extremely well for a true freshman.
John?
Mike, how much better do you think your guys have gotten these last couple of weeks? Where have you kind of seen progression, and where do you kind of want to see improvement from your guys?
Well, we can improve everywhere. I can't think of anywhere we can improve. So we just have to keep improving. I mean, I think everybody's in that boat, but I think, we're young enough that we'll improve by a pretty good margin. I think as these guys get older and get in a rhythm and that type of thing, and get in a regular season where you kind of have the rhythm of the routine and all that stuff.
Go to Joel.
Yeah, Coach. Mike, on the next to last drive, when you guys were down 10, I think you had to call a couple timeouts on that drive. Just hindsight being what it is, were you pleased with, I guess, the time management on that drive? Is there anything you would have liked to have done differently?
No, I was very pleased with the time management on the drive, certainly on my part. And our sidelines part, there were those that I wasn't pleased with, but that won't be addressed for a variety of reasons. Some of them potentially financial, and but yeah, I mean, save all that for the last drive. Well, I mean, burn it this drive, save it the last drive. I mean, it's kind of like asking, okay, we're going to stab you. Which knife you want to get stabbed with? I mean, so you may not have liked the way those timeouts went. I thought they went great. So when you coach your team, you can go ahead and call the timeouts how you want.
Tyler.
Mike, I know you guys recovered from it and you stayed in the ball game, but how big was that fumble at the goal line from Austin Williams? Looks like you guys were going in to tie it up at 7-7. Next thing you know, you're down 14-0. How much did that?
Yeah, that was a blow. That was a blow. It should have been. We were in a position to put ourselves up 14-7, and we didn't. I mean, then what I did admire about Austin is he rallied, played extremely tough, drug two guys in the end zone on a play, which I thought was very impressive, and he didn't let anything rattle him. I mean, it's an unfortunate play. That's the thing that I really admired about our guys, is they didn't quit on anything. And a lot of times guys will hang their head and fold when something like that happens, but he didn't. I mean, he was one of our most competitive players out there, I thought.
We'll go to Joe.
Yeah, Coach, you said that there's a lot of areas.
Talk loud, I could barely hear you.
Coach, you said there was a lot of areas that you guys need to improve in. What are you most encouraged about going forward?
Our effort, and our effort and the way we finish this game. That's the most encouraging. I think that's where everything starts. Because if you have good, honest effort and do it with clarity, you're going to improve. Because that's where everything starts. I mean, there's no improvement without that.
We've got time for just a couple more. We'll go to Ben.
Mike, you guys got a couple of fourth down stops that kind of kept you guys in the first half. Was that something you expected for them to do a lot, be aggressive in those short situations?
No, I was quite surprised at that. I haven't done a COVID count of them. Everybody's quite secretive about it. Yeah, they did go for fourth down more than I expected. And I mean, there was definitely a point where I was wondering to what extent they hated their kicker or their punter. And, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, they sure did. And they looked good at it a couple times too. So I don't know. Hopefully next time around, those two guys can win the popularity contest over there. But it looks like they're down right now.
Steve.
Coach, when you hired Zach Arnett, it was a little bit, I guess, out of left field, but he has kind of grown into a fan favorite with the staff. I mean, how would you kind of assess his performance so far as a first-year play caller and defensive coordinator?
I think he's done a really good job. I think he's done an extremely good job, and then the part of it is and you guys don't know Zach quite as well as I do, but there's a lot of qualities of Zach that is Mississippi State. I mean, it's just very congruent to the grit and the personality that exists at Mississippi State. I mean, You know, he's kind of an understated guy, but everything is crystal clear what's on his mind, and very aggressive schematically, and we're getting closer on that too. We're closer and closer, and we gave up some explosives, which sucks. But the thing is we nearly had that quarterback down over and over and over, and we're going to get better at that. And we're going to get to where some of those 50-50 balls don't go to the other guy. And also they're not going to be 50-50 balls. And we just have to keep scratching and clawing that direction.
Joel.
Mike, you guys kind of have a impromptu bye week next week. Just how valuable is that going to be given some of the, injury / COVID issues you guys have? And just, I guess, what is the plan for the next week?
It'll be similar to the last unsolicited bye week we had. We haven't quite crossed that bridge. We just I don't even know if it's 100% official. We have a bye week. I've heard the same rumors you have, and I suspect you're probably correct. I'm extremely curious. One, if that's final, and two, there's some finality on who we might play, so I know what film to watch. But anyways, we're shorthanded, so hopefully we can gain some ground there.
We'll wrap up with Tyler.
Mike, this is obviously usually a game that's at the very end of the regular season, and there's a lot of emotion that goes into it. I'm curious where the guys were in the locker room, what that mood was like, and where do you go from here, knowing that you still have to play 2 more games and get these guys fired up to play a couple more?
Well, I think they're all excited to play games. As a matter of fact, I think they'd probably like to play a couple more. People don't really dread playing football. They sign up to do it. They practice to do it. So if you and your colleagues could start a miniature campaign to generate 3 more games, most of our players would appreciate it. I'm sure there's a few that wouldn't. And those guys, we may need a little addition by subtraction, but we've had a lot of subtraction. I'd like to have more games if we can. And then now that a number of these other conferences are playing, maybe we could cross-conference it a little bit,
All right. Thank you, Coach Leach.
All right. Appreciate it.